Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel. Just wanted to do a really quick review on King of Tokyo. It's actually one of my favorite games currently. This is a really great game. You can see that it's won a bunch of recognition and awards in the last few years. And it is one of those 2 to 6 player games. Says it plays about 30 minutes. Really depends on if you're playing very aggressive or if you're being very polite and nice. It is very easy to play. I probably wouldn't recommend playing a 2-player only because it becomes very back and forth. I don't know. I guess it makes the game easier because there is no wait time to get back to your turn, and you'll see how that can make an impact on winning the game or not. So it comes with the board there, the box, the rules, which are fairly easy to read. There's a little part on the inside that you can look at, but it's pretty easy. This game is very much like Yahtzee, I guess. It takes that same mechanic where you have these six die right here. You roll them, and then you decide what you want to keep, and then you roll them 2 more times. So basically, you have a paw, which means I can attack. You have a heart, which gives you a health. You have a lightning, which is charge, which basically gives you these little charges here, which you use to buy these cards over here. And then you have the numbers 1 to 3, and those are for I guess what you want to call them, like victory points, if you want to call it that. So you can do if you get 3 1s, you get 1 point. You get 2 2s, you get 2 points. You get 3 3s, you get 3 points. And if you get an additional one of that number, then you just add 1 more to your result. And you'll see that this is kind of your little scorekeeper here. So you'll have the health. Sorry about that. You'll have the health here on the bottom right side. You start at 10, and then with the victory points, you start at 0. The victory points go all the way up to 20. If you reach 20 first, before anybody else, you win the game. Or if everybody else in the game reaches 0 and you're still alive, then you also win. So you get that guy, and then you get the little cardboard, your little player token, I guess. There's 6 of them in the game. I usually like playing with this guy here, or with the Kraken, which is pretty cool. So basically, what you do in the first move, you both roll dice, and if you end up with an attack one, and you end up keeping that, that actually puts you into Tokyo City. Now, when you're playing with more than 4 people, then you will have 2 people in Tokyo. One of them will be in Tokyo City, and the other one will be in Tokyo Bay. So how this works is you want to use the dice to get what you want. So if your health is bad, then you want to keep rolling until you can get as many of these as possible. If you want to pick up some of these cards, they'll tell you here how much they cost on the top. You just have to roll a bunch of those charges and get those and accumulate those to get some of these cards. These are game changers, so you don't want to play a game without buying cards, because you will find that you're going to be lacking later in the game when you need to do something. You need to do something good. So these ones you keep, and then some of them they'll tell you that they only work once. These ones are going to be pretty strong since you keep them. Let's see. Let's read this one real quick. It says right here, your neighbors take 1 extra damage when you deal damage. That's pretty intense. So every time you do that, they all take damage. So this is kind of how it works. So you'll roll. Let's assume that this person rolled, kept one of the attacks there. So they're in the city. All right. So now when you go into Tokyo City, and that's what this says here, you get 1 victory point just for entering. So you would turn that over to the number 1. The other thing it says here, it says +2 in brackets or whatever. Basically, that means that if the gameplay goes around the table back to your turn again, and you're still in Tokyo, you would get 2 more points. So you'd actually be at 3 points if it came back around to you. Now, you will see that the little heart is no longer valid as long as you're in Tokyo. You're basically in the middle of the battle, cannot heal yourself. So if you were to roll this and you're in Tokyo, you'd probably want to re-roll these 2 because they are completely useless to you. So you would roll again, and then most likely you'd be looking to get attacks or maybe some more charges or victory points to help yourself out. So that's kind of like the fun thing, is that you're in Tokyo. So when you're in Tokyo and you attack, when you get one of these or multiple of these, you actually attack everybody who's not in Tokyo. So in a game of 4, you'd actually be attacking 3 people, which is pretty exciting and exhilarating, and they'll be bound to want to get revenge. Now, same goes for if you're this little bunny here and you did an attack, you would only be attacking the person in Tokyo. So there's one other thing here. So when you're in Tokyo, if you get attacked, okay, so let's say this person just rolled and attacked you by 1, you would take the 1 damage here and spin this over, spin it over to the 9, and you would then be able to decide if you wanted to stay in Tokyo or if you wanted to switch spots. So that actually makes it really interesting, because this person basically, or any of these people, can't go into Tokyo at will, if that makes sense. They will only be swapped. So you might have a strategy, okay, I'm going to roll as many of these as possible and destroy this guy in here, but they do have the option of switching with you. Yes, when you go in there and you swap places, you are going to get that victory point, which is really nice. But the problem is you can't heal yourself in there. So you have to be very careful and very strategic on when you attack the person in there, because you might get stuck in there for at least a turn or a couple turns and can't heal yourself. So a lot of people do like playing the strategy of the victory points, because there are some cards in here that will accelerate that. I know there was a card in there where if you jump out of Tokyo, you do not take any damage, which is a very, very powerful card. And then there's a few other ones like that one that I just saw over here that will give extra damage every time you go and swing and hit somebody. So it's a very easy game. It plays very quickly. You're basically just your turn, grab the dice, roll them, re-roll the ones that you don't want to keep, and then re-roll the last ones that you don't want to keep. You get 2 re-rolls, and then you just use what you have, and that's it. So the gameplay does move pretty quick, especially if you played before. I would say most of the time I've seen people win with victory points versus knocking everybody else out. But like I said, it depends how aggressive you are in the game. So I don't know. I mean, there's not much more to say about this game. It's really, really fun. You can teach anybody to play. Anybody who knows how to roll dice can play this game, and it's really fun. I would say that if you're new to the game and you're doing 5 or 6 people, the game will drag on. And if people are being too nice and friendly and they're like, oh, you know, I don't want to get you out of the game, let me just keep re-rolling and try to do something else, then the game will also really drag on. To me, if you're a little bit more vicious and you're a little more attack prone and going that way, it's more fun. There's a little bit more drama going on, and the game moves along a lot quicker. So this is a fantastic game. Definitely something. If there's 3 or 4 people playing, I'll definitely want to play. Like I said, very easy to learn. Not a lot of things to remember, you know. And with your little piece there and your scorekeeper there, it's very easy to move the game along. They did come out with a King of New York version, which is a little the board is a little bit bigger, adds a couple other things here, adds a few different cards, and I think it added a couple other different kind of tokens as well, which is good too. But this one's a lot easier to get into and jump into. These are also the little tokens that you can get. Usually some of these cards will give you like a poison function and things like that, but you don't have to play with those. There's a couple different things to help move the game quicker, but it really is that easy to play. It's that fun. If you like rolling dice, you like easy games to learn and play, and you want something that's going to play in easily under 45 minutes, this is one of the best games out there, hands down. Definitely check it out. Thanks for watching.